Hi guys, welcome to Didedi's Crafty Corner. Today we're going to be playing with the penny black balloon ride. I have matched my colors to this cute little designer paper, and the colors that I'm going to be using for the balloon are Y21, Y23, and Y25. So I've stamped it out with some Copic friendly ink, and I'm going to be trimming it down later on with a nesting die of some sort. But what I'm doing now is I'm going in with that Y21, and that's the lightest color that I'm going to be using, and I'm leaving just a little bit of white behind. So I'm coloring in the balloon, but leaving where I want the highlight to be in the balloon. So I'm going to color all of my balloons at once, and then I'm going to come in with my medium color, and I'm going to go around the areas that I want to be the darkest and color up to that white point. And then I will come in with the darkest color and do the same thing. So I thought that while I was coloring this, I'm going to leave all the footage in. I've sped it up to, well, as far as my phone would let me do it. And so it's going to take a while to get through this process. So I thought I would just talk to you guys and color away. And I think that this little stamp set is absolutely adorable. So what I've done is I've just added a few little places where I'm going to leave some light shining through. And I'm not going to do the technique with the balloons where you can see through the balloon. I'm going to be pretending these are opaque and you can't see through them because that's a whole nother ball of wax when you start. I'm not very good at it actually. Like I said, I bought this balloon to practice my Copic coloring on balloons. And today I really just wanted to color. Plus I needed a birthday card. So this is going to be the birthday card that I'm going to be sending out, or actually giving to someone. So as you can see, I'm just now adding some darkness to go up and around the balloon. This is going to take a while. This took me a little bit of time to do. Even with it speeded up, you can see it's taking some time. So the only thing I can tell you with this, I'm always being asked about my coloring, is that the biggest thing about balloons is to leave a little bit of highlight. You want to leave, or you can draw it in at the end. You can take that a white gel pen or even a white Prismacolor pencil. I've done that a lot of times when I don't want it to be stark white. I keep a couple right here with my supplies that I can reach very quickly, and you can add a little white highlight with that if you don't want the starkness of a white gel pen. So now I'm coming in with the darkest color, and again I'm flicking up. I want to go around all the areas where I want the balloons to be the darkest. So where the balloons are overlapping each other, I'm going to put in some darkness, and I'm going to add a little darkness around the curves, and I'm just going to flick it up. And then I'm going to go back with that medium color again, and then I'm going to go over the entire thing with the lightest of my Copic colors. So today I did a little rearranging in my craft room. So you guys got to tell me what you think about the placement of... Ooh, one of my fluorescent lights is buzzing. Do you hear that? That's going to be annoying. I did a little placement with the mat and the camera. I've raised my camera up a little higher to give you guys more area of the mat to look at. That way when I zoom in, that should be a little better, I think. But let me know if seeing that little crack of beige over there past the mat is going to bother you. I did do a little, like I said, I did a little bit of rearranging, and just to kind of give me a better lighting. So also let me know about the lighting. I'm still using just the 3 lights, but I moved them around, and that's probably why I got a buzzing. Anyway, I hope you guys can't really hear that so much. So now I'm coming back in, it looks like with the medium color, and blending out that darkest color, and then I will come back in with the lightest color and color it all together and do little circles. You know, I'll blend it in with a circle, and then I actually am going to have to go back in with the green one more time. So like I said, this does take a little bit of time. So that's the thing about Copics though. You can use your Copics. I mean, you could put a ton of color down and still go over it and over it and over it, and it's going to come out okay. So as long as you leave that light area in between, as long as you leave that little lighted area, you can go back over your colors as many times as you want. As long as you don't go too dark on that lighted area, it's still going to turn out okay. So it's really hard. I've yet to get a Copic coloring that I haven't been able to fix, is what I'm trying to say. So now I'm going in with RV10 because I really wanted this little guy to have a pink kind of nose and mouth, if you will, the little section around the mouth. I wanted it to be pink. I'm going to go over it with the lightest brown at the end as well, just to give it a different tone and not make it so baby pink. And then the browns that I chose for this bear are E42, E44, and E47. So the E42 is of course the lightest, and that's what I'm going to go over the entire bear with. So no white highlight did I leave on this bear. I just went ahead and colored it all in with the lightest color. Then I'm going to come in with the medium color, and I'm going to go around the areas that the stamp is showing me is going to be the darkest. So in that stamp, it had some lines, some etchings where it should be a little darker. And that's where I'm placing my darkest colors. Now really with this little bear, I could have just used 2 colors and I think I would have been fine. But I did go in with the E47 and make it even just a little bit darker. And then I just left my highlights where I wanted them to be, basically. So I'm going to go in with all 3 colors. Again, lightest, middle, or medium, and darkest. And then I'm going to go back to the medium, back to the lightest, back to the darkest until I get the color saturation. Can't say that word today. Saturation. Nope, still can't. Sometimes I can't. And then I'm going to do a dot technique. So the dot technique has actually got a fancy name to it as well that I'm not sure what it is. But I just go around and I'm going to add little dots. And I think I'm going to do it with each section so you'll be able to see it. But when I do my dotting, I'm going to go in with the middle color first, and then the darker color, then the lightest color, and then my 0 marker. Now the 0 marker is the colorless blender, and it takes away color. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going in with the middle color and I'm dotting. That dotting technique gives you the appearance of this being a fur teddy bear. It gives you that appearance of texture with the teddy bear. And you want to have all the dimensional colors in there. So you want to have that dark dots, the medium dots, and the light dots, as well as with the colorless blender, it just pushes back a little bit and gives you some even lighter dots, if you will. And it's really going to bring the face and make it look like it's textured, like it has, fake fur on it, like it's a teddy bear, right? I'm going to do the same thing with the legs, the same process. I'm going to go in with I already did the lightest color, the middle color, the darkest color, and then I will blend it in together with the lightest color again, and then I'm going to put the dots on the legs as well. That's the same process that I do on almost all of my animal characters. I started it with birds and owls years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. I really like that smooth texture on some animals as well, but I always find myself wanting to add some dots on there somewhere. And so I usually do. So I'm going to do the legs, and then we're going to work up to the little arms, which won't take very long at all. And then we're going to do the belly. Now on the belly, I'm going to add some flicking motions that are going to be more circular, if you will. I'm going to be making his belly look a little rounder. So I'm going to be flicking from those outside edges in. So when we get there, you'll see that. So now I'm doing the little dot technique. And this card is going to go together really simply. The coloring was the longest part, and I did cut out, so I speeded it up and I cut out some things that I thought, not with the coloring, but with the rest of the card where I thought I could bring it down. This video originally was over an hour long, and I think I have it down at the end to 19 minutes, so that's not so bad. All right, so I'm gonna move on to the arms. That should go pretty quick. The ears I'm going to do last, and I'm just going to be adding the medium color, not even the dark color, to the ears, and then that's when I'm going to go over the pink with the little bit of the lightest E42, and that's going to give my pink bear kind of a little orange pink look and take away that baby pink color. So right now I'm going in with the darkest, and then I'm going to come back in with the medium, and then I will go in with the lightest and feather it all together or blend it all together, and then I will put the dot technique on there. So like I said, I chose the colors of my balloons by that piece of My Favorite Things paper. It's just a very simple dotted paper in a lime green kind of color. And I picked my Copics from there. So if you don't have a swatch book, I highly recommend you get one. And I also enjoy Sandy Allnock's hex chart as well as my Copic color chart. And I also have one for my Spectrum Noirs as well. I actually have a swatch book or a swatch block, if you will, of all of my colors, whether it's just on a sheet in a notebook, but of everything I have that's a color, I have a swatch for it. I did a birthday card and I wanted it to have lime green color in it. And I pulled out my marker swatches and I was able to find the colors that I thought would look the best on that paper, because that paper is going to be the background. So I really highly recommend that you look into swatching. You know, take the time and swatch all of your markers, all of your paints, all of your pencils. You know, take the time to do that, as well as getting swatches of all of your cardstocks as well, because you can throw that together very quickly if you bring out your swatch book, right? It just seems to help quite a bit in the process. So I use the smallest of the My Sweet Petunias stamping boards, right? The pink one. I didn't show you stamping it this time around, but that is what I used. Misty, my small Misty, that's what it is. My brain, guys, my brain. So I did stamp it out on a piece of Copic friendly paper, and it is thinner paper because I thought at first I may want to cut it out with a border with my brother's ScanNCut, but I decided at the end that I was just going to cut it out in a rectangle. So you're at the dotting technique on the belly, and I'm hoping I do a close enough picture for you to see how adorable it is. The dotting technique really is super sweet on these little critters, and I just think they're so cute. So we're going in with the lightest color, and then I know after the lightest color I do come back and do more darker colors as well. And I do that mostly because those darker colors are really what makes the fur look a little matted or a little curly or a little, and that's another trick too. You can do little circles, like you can do little curly cues or little circles all the way around instead of the dots, and that gives you a totally different look on your fur, but it just gives it that little something extra. And it's not very hard, and it doesn't take very long. So it's a nice technique to learn and to do. And I'm often asked, I don't know when to stop, how many dots. It's when you feel like it. You know, there's not a specific number of dots. It's when you feel like it. So now I'm going in and I'm just going to color in a little bit of brown around the ears, and then I'm going to blend it back out, and then I'll be going back over, like I said, the pink with the lightest E color, which is E42, and then I'll go back over it with the RV10 and make it a little more pinky after that. So you can see me doing that now. And I think it turned out stinking adorable. I have no complaints at all with this card. I think it's super cute. I think it matches that paper perfectly. And isn't it cute? Look at all those little dots. He's so cute. He really is so cute. All right, so now to get the card together. I'm using a dotted rectangle from Lawn Fawn, and I'm just going to run it through the Big Shot. Yep, I even brought out the Big Shot for you guys. I'm going to stick it in there. I'm going to run it through, leaving a border on either side, and I'm going to pop my plate back in there once I'm sure I'm good and run it through. I'm going to run it through once and then bring it back through, and that'll take care of that. So there's our little piece. We're going to set it on top of the green paper, and that looks great. So I'm using a top folding A2 card, and I'm going to be cutting down my cardstock to be just shy of my card. I want some white showing around my card so that my little focal point can have white as well. And so that's going to give me another layer. See, isn't that cute? So that's going to be perfect. Let's get this put away. So now I'm going to take a piece of fun foam, and I was going to use a couple of pieces because it's a little short, but decided it's going to be okay. So I'm taking the fun foam and I'm just going to cut it down a little bit on the sides. I'm going to take my art glitter glue and I'm going to glue it down to the back of the foam piece, to the back of the foam, and then I'm going to attach it to my colored piece of paper, just like that. And I'm just going to hold it down for a second. And then I'm going to take that same art glitter glue and I'm going to put it all around the green piece of paper. I dropped it, but that's okay. Didn't fall upside down, so it counts. And then as nicely as I can, as evenly as I can, I'm going to place my little green paper on my white cardstock and give it a good look over and make sure it looks okay. And then I'm going to add the same glue to the back of my little foam piece and my little teddy bear. Here I'm going right, left, right, left. Do I want it to be center? Do I want it to be off to the left? Do I want it to be off to the right? Spoiler, I decided to put it in the center, as I normally do. So I've glued that down. I'm just going to do a little pressing here just to make sure that it sticks. And isn't it cute, guys? It's adorable. I brought out all of my little sequins that I keep in this little container, and I've chosen to use some of these greens. I think these greens will look super cute. So I'm going to be doing my signature little corner piece down here. I'm going to be adding 3 sequins to the corner, and I'm going to be doing that with my miniature bottle of art glitter glue with my tiny little spout. I did actually just fill up both of my syringes with the art glitter glue, so I'll be using that in a video coming up next, but for this video I'm just using them right out of their bottle. So I'm just taking that little needle that comes with the art glitter glue and moving them over, putting them in place, and that's going to take care of the little bells and whistles at the bottom of my card. I think it's super, super cute. I will be pulling out my Nouveau crystal glaze pen, if you will, and I'm going to be putting that all over all the balloons. I just thought it would look super cute. I would thought about doing every other balloon or something silly like that, but I just thought it would look really cute on all the balloons, so that's what I did. I'm just hovering it over, putting it on each one of the balloons, and then it gives me a nice little shine, and I think it looks super cute. So that's going to complete this card. Somewhere in the near future, I'll be putting the black gel pen on his eyes because I did forget to do that. And here are the finished photos of the card. And I just think it turned out super, super sweet. I love the texture of the little bear. I love the green balloons with the green background. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.